Alrighty, Roo, and Cuckoo Kachu to you and all my nobody's not watching out there. I did look up Camilla Khan's powers, and I'm gonna kind of discuss them as I go around. They're pretty simple. I guess the hardest. Well, let's go with the simple stuff first. The simple things are she does have elasticity and the ability to change her shape, similar to Mr. Fantastic, although it does seem like it's significantly different and in my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, not anywhere near as powerful as or as strong. Um, Mr. Fantastic seems like he's real hard to destroy.
Space is
Basically,
kind of a
super
mess.
cold.
They were using it for
Certain
storage or
specific
something.
things could stop him, but other than something like his particular weaknesses, you can't just shoot the guy in the face. Like he could be asleep and you could shoot him in the face and his body would just be like boop. Like he doesn't have to turn on the power. She seems like she kind of has to turn it on or like, you know, her body might react to some degree, but she can be shot and then she can just heal from it. Whereas you literally can't like stab or shoot this guy. It doesn't matter if you sneak up behind him. You're gonna have to do something else, like melt him with fire or freeze him or something like that. Um, so he seems, but that's his only power, and it's different. But it seems to be much stronger than hers. She has also the ability to
But
shapeshift
the
into
view
other
was
people,
amazing when
like
this thing
appear
wasn't
as them,
here.
like
Maybe Mr.
Mystique
Stark can fix
to
it.
some degree, you know, like from the X-Men. Um, because she, showed up as like when she emerged from the Terrigenesis crystal, which they didn't do here, but they did in the comic books. Uh, she looked like Carol Danvers and did some adventures, at least in one of the versions of it. So there's that. Um, so she can she can look like other people. How much she uses this, I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this. I think I read like the first one version of like an origin of her, and I don't really super
Wonder who was
remember it. I read
staying
it
here
one time and I
before.
was like, okay, well I'm glad that they made like a Muslim, like a like it's again. I like the ethnicity. I like more spreading out of genetic diversity, etc., and people being represented. Like I like that. That is good. Um, oh God, that's his working track, dude. He needs that.
That's better. I should go
Is
talk
that
to Blue.
Sia?
Or I could
Come on,
flip
let the
around some
radio
more now that
on.
some
I
of the
don't
doors are working.
remember the lyrics, but it won't be
Give
long.
him some time to forget
Yep,
he saw
yep.
me crying.
No, then it won't be long. Gonna hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got you with me. There's like cash, I ain't got cash. I got you, baby. There's fighting on this is fun tonight. I love cheap thrills. Actually, I really love this song. I just don't know. I don't remember lyrics a lot of the time when I need to. Interesting choice, but I guess that makes sense. Although I'm not sure how contemporary this particular song is, even when this came out, for the character, given her age. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to like actually like, do 17-year-olds would they go out of their way for this? I think the other one was like Kesha or something, and it's like it kind of sounds more like something that an older person would say that a younger person that's 17 or whatever would like. And it's like, no, they're into like much more modern contemporary stuff. Like that's just how that works. Like it just kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying no, Sia's a great artist. I fucking love her and I love the music videos especially. And the lyrics are great, but I just don't think that I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel like that really fits. I felt like they could have picked something else better. Or not better, but more fitting to the character. Something that's like an unknown artist. Like in the show, they have a lot of good music. That was one of my favorite parts about the show was learning about like learning all this new music and being like, dude, the music fucking here rocks, and I have not heard any of this because it's like a mix of like new stuff and like stuff from the culture and just stuff that I normally would not listen to or hear or be exposed to, and I thought that was really cool. I am a big fan of, you know, Sia. I don't even know how to remember. I can't ever remember how to pronounce it because it doesn't get said many times, and often it's said in, I think it's Sia, but Sia, fuck, I don't know. But no, I'm a big fan. Like, I would go see her or them, I'm not sure their pronoun, but, and, like, I've watched, I think, all the music videos and stuff. I like the music. I've listened to a number of, yeah, anyway, but that doesn't really make sense for the character, in my opinion, as much as I like the song. That's just all I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, and then back to the powers. Has a healing factor, and the elasticity that isn't as good as Mr. Fantastic. The ability to shapeshift into, you know, other people or appear like them, which honestly makes sense for the polymorph stuff, but the fact that it's like, I want to have blonde hair, I can just do that. That's like, okay. And then the thing that was weird, how'd they put it, morphogenetics or something? I think that's the way they put it, where basically it's that the whole thing that the elasticity isn't just a change, it's like a literal change in mass, and that mass comes from a different version of her and is very potentially time travel related. Okay, well, I don't want to go that way yet. I'll come back to that way. And it's like, what? Like, because you never see her, I mean, I'm not saying that she hasn't done this, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense if it's coming from her current version of herself in that universe and this timeline. Obviously, she would notice if before she got her powers, or even after she got her powers, if she just started shrinking sometimes, you know, to make up for the mass that is she's using in the future, you know, and we never see that, and we never really she doesn't, you know, reduce. She basically just embiggens. So, and that has to come from her somewhere. So my thought is like the weird thing about that thought process is like what if it's like her, but it's a different version of her somewhere that doesn't have this power? That basically, like, it kind of like, maybe it's sort of like does an Ant-Man thing. Instead of becoming big, they have the power to make themselves small. They make parts of themselves smaller, and they're elastic, and they become like very, like, you know, becoming bigger, they become smaller. That, I mean, you know, or maybe there's just a sad version of them that can't help but have this effect happen due to some other multiversal counterpart as a necessity of their powers and physics or something. I don't feel like they really go into it. I doubt I'll find any real answer for that. I don't think it's really that important. It's just one of those like, well, that's the way they explained it. Kind of weird. Okay, I guess. But, meh. Like, to me, it's like, it kind of seems like, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, be disrespectful or hate. Like, I like the character. I think the powers are cool. You know, I'm not really, I knew enough about the character when the Disney Plus thing came out that I was like, I don't really like how they did that. But they've, you know, they're going to change things, and they have their reasons for it. You know, it's part of a bigger thing. And they have their own plans. They have rights to the character. I believe. There's no reason for them to need to change anything unless they choose to suit their purposes and, you know, storytelling reasons. But, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was, like, weird that they did that in the first place, but those are the powers. Like, think if, you know, Mr. Fantastic wasn't as powerful and lost, you know, some of his power so that he could directly duplicate looking like somebody, you know, like transform into them. Instead of just like, I don't know. I'm not really entirely sure of the full lengths of his powers because I'm not that close to Fantastic Four, and a lot of times they kind of make him weaker. Like we just saw him die, and you know, spoiler for not WandaVision, but Doctor Strange 2. Higher gears available. You know, and they just kind of like threw him in, and we're like, sorry, whatever your name is from The Office, you die. What was his name? I don't know. What's this do? That does. Okay. Well, I like you more than I like Hulk, so I guess I'll give you that one. Cool. Although I'm not sure I can give Hulk that. I think I get what I get, who I get, where I get it. But yeah, no. One thing I did think was interesting as a thought is because she's considered inhuman. I think it's much like mutants, where it's like, okay, your parents were mutants. That doesn't necessarily make you a mutant. In this case, you know. But it's like she does have kind of an extended family. We know more about her family than a lot of other people. What's that? Combo, defense. Well, then let's use that one. What if the rest of her family was exposed to the Terrigen Mist? And, you know, in this game, we kind of saw her dad was there. We didn't see him exposed to the Terrigen Mist. But there is a possibility that that happened. And, you know, maybe he just doesn't have the trait. He's not a carrier of genetic marker, blah, 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 blah. So nothing happened. But, like, what if her entire family was just gassed with it? Would any of them get powers? Or is she just super lucky or unlucky or however you want to think of that? I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Hey,
it's like,
Bruce.
because her dad was there and
Sorry about
for all intents and purposes could have very much
any
been
luck with
dosed.
you know who?
Good
It would
timing.
be
I
interesting to
was
see
just
what powers
about
he
to
might
take a
get.
look.
You know?
Can I get a hand on the other
I
side?
get the feeling he'd get like
Just push that button.
like some form of levitation and teleportation, like a limited form of those two things. Like I don't know why, just seems to fit his like his personality or something somehow. I'm gonna hold this even though that's why you chased me.
So awesome. This thing belongs in a
It
museum.
belongs in a museum. But I'm glad you didn't touch it because you might set off the Hulk. He just wants you to push the button. Push the button. I'm just looking around because I don't know when I'll be able to come back here or if I'll be able to come back here after this happens. Who knows what'll happen after this. But yeah, no, it's like, what would happen if, like, her entire family, you know, because, you know, that could happen. And her dad was there, and it's not like the mist went everywhere. Like, we saw her, and she kind of got pushed down on the ground, and, you know, the list, which is some diversion from the original thing, because she didn't get it from the same thing like she did, and it doesn't matter. It's just it's just like one of those things, you know, like, what would any of her family get anything, and if they did, what would it be? Yeah, she's like, I'm happy, I'm getting upgrades. They're the same thing. How about that one? I don't know, I thought it was kind of an interesting concept. You know, like, what would they get? No one's watching and all that stuff, but if anybody is, that's XP gain. And that's just what, regeneration? I'd rather have that one. I like more XP. But if anybody is actually watching this, put down in the comments, you know, what you think, you know? I know no one is, but like, on the off chance, if you know anything about this, even if you don't, just be like, what do you, like, just based on seeing the guy, like, I don't know. Somebody's gonna be like, he would be able to make unlimited, like, mint ice cream. It's like, okay. Alright, well, I mean, I guess that's an answer. Feed that algorithm. But, you know. It's annoying to have to just do this every time. Like, there's no reason, like, they're like, hey, you can totally do this thing. It's like, does it matter? Like, this has no perks, this has perks. That's all that matters. It's like, it's just, okay, that's a good one. That's good. But, yeah. I don't know, I looked it up and I just thought that was worth sharing and interesting that they change things in various versions as they tend to. I think I've gotten everything, so I'm good to move on, I think. So let's do this, Hulk man. Sorry. Am I actually taking away?
Good afternoon,
I thought I was just
Dr.
pushing a button. Why am I fucking typing so much?
Whoa. We did it. Tony Stark's super awesome computer pal.
Oh, I'm just a rather very intelligent system.
Wow.
A pleasure to meet you, miss.
You're surprisingly humble,
Con.
considering
But you can call me Kamala.
Tony Stark.
Not getting enough
All that.
power.
The system is on emergency lockdown.
Looks like I tripped the security sensors when I was in the lab.
Whoopsie daisy.
I got this.
I guess I'll go help by doing a thing elsewhere. Somewhere, doing a thing, you know. Over here, I guess. Boop-a-doop. Where is it? But yeah, no. Like, again, not trying to be disrespectful.
Okay,
I just feel like the reality is simply...
Alright, you can use the console on the lab table to disable the sensors.
It just seems like, oh, you're basically, like, you've got a few things that are better than Mr.
I think I made it
Fantastic.
worse.
Oh, great. That's
Okay,
great.
just means you'll need to disable the security
It
sensors
just seems like
manually. Look
You're
for the
a less good
little red
version.
lights.
the
But
heck
you
am I
know what,
supposed to reach
Genesis is, that actually makes more
Really?
sense because
Right.
the Fantastic Four. They,
Stretchy arms.
I think Mr. Fantastic is actually the most powerful of them. Although one thing most people don't know about. Oh, I'm stuck in the room. Cool. I'm gonna punch that.
Got one. Okay, this is easy.
I don't like that I'm having to break things that might be valuable or
You know,
important.
in one of my stories, Iron Man has to shoot out a bunch of streetlights to cover for Black Widow sneaking into a hyperspace.
Uh-huh, that's nice.
Didn't
Did you
think
not-
it would actually be a real thing an Avenger did, you know? I mean, not that I'm a real Avenger or anything.
Alright, that did it.
Yeah, I know. Did he not? I mean, he probably wouldn't
Almost
remember
done,
it.
kiddo.
It's been 5 years in trauma. You know, things have changed. He's not gonna remember some story he read 5 years ago by her. He probably wouldn't even know that. Like, he would be like, "Oh, you must have been there," and she told him, and he probably would just be like, "Oh, okay." Haha, I'm granted access now. Oh, it's my room. Never mind. Now. It's like, it's your room, dude. Of course you can get in. Like, you know. Nope, you've lost room privileges. We caught you making out with that boy and we're removing your door like this is the 1990s and we're overly whatever. Kind of made me laugh hard enough to get something in my throat there. But, yeah. That I think that the TV... I don't know. I think the TV show is going to change things and make it more and different. And I didn't really like that, but it's okay, I guess. Whatever. It's not my... I don't have as strong feelings as I did.
Nice work.
But
Kamala.
I kind of... I don't
Okay,
know.
Jarvis,
I
let's
wanted
find
her
Tony.
powers to be, like, a little better than they are.
Jarvis,
Like, her to have
searching
something
now.
that made her a little different than
Hold on,
Mr. Fantastic.
Something is
Just
wrong,
weaker.
Dr.
And not just, I can look like
Oh,
anybody.
dear.
It's
It
like,
appears my neural uplink was
you
damaged
know,
when the Chimera
it's like,
crashed.
you can still just get
It's
shot in the
highly
face,
specific shield technology.
you know,
Without it, I
and
can't
die.
access the global
Like,
database.
that's it. Game over, bro. You get shot in the
let's get Maria on
shoulder
the
and you
phone.
can heal fast,
Maria Hill?
or get sliced or
Is she
cut or
leading
whatever,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
but
now?
like, you're not,
Sort of.
you are by no
Everyone
means
knows that
invulnerable,
happened to Director
you know,
Fury, so
or
Bill's
even
the
close.
only one I know I can trust.
It seems like
Bruce, it's
I don't
good
know.
to
I
see
don't
you.
really know,
After
understand
all,
how, like,
running with the
I made my
Hulk, I'm
hand
just
real
trying to get
big
hearing from
and
you
punchy.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
like,
about all that. Hulk's
it
been having
still would, like,
some issues.
not,
to apologize.
even with great mass
Our
and
last
stuff,
phone
it
call
wouldn't
after that
necessarily
day.
be.
I'm just glad to
She
see
does
the
have,
Avengers
like,
back in action.
enhanced strength
Well,
and
not
resilience, but still, I don't know.
Hi.
It's just,
Kamala Khan.
I don't know.
It's just the two of us for now. We're trying to
What's
find
up?
Mr. Stark.
Yeah, Marie, we're gonna need a neural uplink. You gotta have one stored somewhere.
All of our resources
probably
are
should
seized
stay
by
on
AIM,
camera.
and most agents are still in hiding. But I may know where to look. I'm sending the coordinates to your war table.
I recognize her voice. I don't know the voice actor's name because there's so many of them, and I just am not very good with actors' names in general, but especially voice actors. But I believe that is somebody who often plays Jean Grey in X-Men stuff. So, and I'm pretty sure in X-Men Evolution was Jean Grey. Acquiring stuff. Yeah,
Use the war
this
table
episode
to
is
set
basically
the
just me
Quinjet's
talking about
destination
stuff.
of your next mission.
Getting stuff done.
The coordinates Commander Hill provided lead to an installation in a
Yeah,
remote
going to the snowy tundra
region.
sounds terrible.
I have marked the location on your war table. Missions that are critical to your investigation of AIM will be marked with the Avengers A.
Hey,
I thought that would be appropriate.
thank you. Is that all I can do though? I feel like that's it. I feel. Oh, nope, I can look around. But you're not gonna take me to Africa, no Wakanda right now. It's like does not look like no. Looks like this is all I got. Yay! What is this? Russia?
Will contain enemies with special abilities and modifiers. It would be wise to examine a mission's modifiers and plan your loadout accordingly.
Okay,
AIM
so they're
forces
like,
in this
hey,
region
you
are
know, don't
reported
just
to
use the
use
same thing.
cryotech weaponry. Equip any cold
Great.
protection gear you may have to better your
I
chances
don't
of
think
success.
I have anything that does anything specific other than just the benefit I do have, but thank you for the suggestion. Difficulty. Okay, just challenge 1. It just says difficulty, and then there's nothing there. 1 to 4 players. Mission power 9 to -5, or 9 through 5. Jarvis needs a new neural uplink, blah, 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 blah. Maria Hill thinks she's located when that goes there and go deep into the territory to find it. Cool. Alright. Oh, it's starting. Okay, things are happening. I'm gonna end this one and then... Well, no, I'll wait. Because stuff's happening
Did you
and I
know
can't,
this
like,
was
pause.
here the entire time?
Absolutely not. I swear.
Uh-huh. I think you just wanted to go on a road trip in your RV.
To fucking Russia?
No.
That's a good... No. No. Like... You know... Not to Russia. No, that's not even an option. Oh, hey, I can... Well, I mean... Duh, I can use... Was that not an option before? So it's like, duh, I can use... So, are you saying that I can, like, go... What's going on here? Oh, no. I was going to be like, can I go as Bucky Barnes? It's like, no. You can go as one of these two. It's like, I'm going to go as Miss Marvel. Just because I prefer her more. But since I'm not going to deal with, you know, her being all... Like, I already found Jarvis, so I'm going to change myself into something else. Let's read some more. Resource economy changes. Along with changing on how to upgrade gear, the resources required to upgrade gear have been simplified to only require fragments and upgrade modules. Nanites, plasma, catalysts, nanotubes, and uru have been removed from the game, and your quantities of those resources have been converted to the fragments, upgrade modules, and polycoron. These resources may be reintroduced in future releases. So basically it's like Did you take away my nanotubes? Because I got some nanotubes, I thought. Alright, whatever, man. I don't care. But, yeah, I'm going to mess around with this and I'll start another one in a second.